grinding and mountain biking too. This is the P-Town Weekend, the Weekend Review.
Alright, so I just finished up the first ride of the season here where I had to dig out some of my winter gear. And after last year I got a lot of questions about what kind of gear I wear when I'm riding in cold weather. So I figured I'd give a quick little rundown of what I got on. So let's go inside and I'll show you what I got. So the big major key to riding in winter is all about layering. You want to have the appropriate amount of layers on so you can take some stuff off if you need to, put stuff back on as you're riding depending on the conditions or what type of trails, roads, what have you that you're riding. So the first thing I start with is a good solid base layer. So this one on the top, I'll go through just the top here first. This one's made by Under Armour. It's their cold gear. I have two of these, both of them are the same thing, so I'll switch them out as they get gross or disgusting as I wear them. It's a fitted one, so it fits nice and tight. It's not too restrictive at all. The turtleneck part of it's pretty key as well to help keep in as much warmth in as you can. Whatever they're made of, they're also very good at when you do happen to sweat, taking that sweat off you and keeping you warm and not cold once you do get heated up. If the temps are between 50 to 60 degrees, that may be all I wear. On top of that, I'll just wear a standard cycling jersey. Alright, just a regular guy, doesn't matter what one. But the biggest attraction to wearing the jersey is the pockets. So I previously mentioned layering. It's nice to have those pockets available to you, so if you happen to take something off during the ride or want to carry something with you that maybe you think you may need, depending on where the temperature goes, it's always nice to have those 3 pockets to stash stuff really quick. If the temperature drops below 50 into the 40s region, on top of those two things, I have another piece of clothing made by Under Armour. It's just another top. This one's not fitted, it's a little looser. It's also a cold gear. So it's got the quarter zip up top, and this is just an extra wind layer, an extra set of protection. And this one specifically is nice. All the sewings on it are reflective, since a lot of times in the wintertime we're riding in the dark. I have a second version of this same jacket that Primal makes, which was a little cheaper. You could find those on closeout sometimes on their website, but it's the same idea, just another top layer jacket-like thing. One nice thing about the Primal one is that also has 3 more pockets in the back. So more room to stash stuff, the better. If it gets below 20 degrees, closer to the teens, I have one more secret. In between those layers, I'll wear a vest. And I have 3 of these that I actually got for free. The nice thing about these is usually the vest that you would get have all mesh on the back. This one is pure, it's almost like a plastic material all the way around, which is nice when it gets really cold. You put this puppy on and you're staying warm. Only crazy thing that may happen is if you're doing a lot of climbing that day, this will overheat you, which may sound like a good thing, but sweating too much is not good in the winter as well. So this one I reserve for if it's really cold in the teens, or if I know I'm not going to be out for crazy long. If I'm climbing, I could get by with this. But this is nice, especially for the wind, or if it's a day with high wind chill, I'll definitely throw this vest on, or any vest for that matter would work the same way. But one thing that I found that works better for me, I don't know why, is I'll put the vest on, and then I'll put the jacket I have on top over this. As far as the bottoms go, I swear by these guys. These are made by Endura. They're just their winter thermal bib tights, but days all the way down to single digits, this is all I have worn on my legs. These are nice. You can feel them. The fabric's nice and thick. This pair has been with me for a couple years. I have another pair that I've had for almost 10 years already, and they're still fine, still perfectly functionable. I actually got a hole in them from picker bushes, and I had them sewed, and they're still working. Some great benefits to these is they do have a camis built right into them, and it's not bad. I've been in the saddle for plenty of hours on these guys, and I enjoy them. Zippers on the cufflinks, some reflectors down there as well, again to help riding at night. And the biggest key to these guys is this front zipper right there. So when you're all dressed up, bundled up, and if nature calls, you don't have to bother worrying about taking your bib straps off or taking the clothes off to get at your bib straps. They conveniently have this nice zipper here so you can get at yourself to relieve yourself. That's a key feature of these. If I know the day is going to be super windy, or in those days where it's down to the single digits, I'll throw a pair of these, depending on what you do, I guess depends on what you call them, either downhill shorts or moto shorts. I'll throw a pair of these on. Any pair of baggy shorts would do. I'll throw these on over those Enduras, and then that just helps keep the wind off your area a little bit more on days where it's going to be super cold. As far as headgear is concerned, I have 3 different pieces I would wear for that. This guy's made by Under Armour as well. It's one of their skull caps. It's another cold gear. I see the same lining inside, infrared it's called. That's on the jacket that I have and the base layer. This blue one though is just a tad bit lighter. So again, I wore this one today when it was around 50-ish or so. You know, it's in between 40s and 50s. I'll wear this guy. If it gets down into the 30s, 20s reasons, I have another one, the same thing. It's just whatever reason, I'm not sure if this is a different model. It still says cold gear infrared on it, but it's just a tiny bit thicker. So if it gets a little chillier, I'll wear this. If it gets down to those teens, single digits days, this is also an Under Armour one, but the full balaclava comes out. This guy you could make it so, you know, only your eyes are showing. If it's really cold, single digits, and wind is a factor, this is a tip I picked up from a friend. Get yourself a good pair of either ski goggles, or these are motorcycle goggles, and they're all the same thing. You don't want to skimp too much on the money of these because you don't want them to be fogging up on you unless you treat them with something. But this is a pair of Fox ones. I think I got them on clearance for 40 bucks, and they work great. They have a clear lens, and then this one's a little smoke color, which is nice for, again, wintertime when it snows and the sun shines off the snow. It's a little bright, so you do want a little bit of shade if you're out there in the daytime. So that's a key. Again, single digits, or if it's going to be a very heavy wind chill day, these are awesome, especially going downhill. You won't regret it. The secret weapons: your extremities, your fingers, and your toesies. You got to keep them warm or you're done super quick. This next part of my outfit I just found last year, and I swear by them. Both of them are the same brand, same style. On my feet, I wear these guys. So they're made by Bontrager. They're called Old Man Winters. I can't complain much about them at all. They come in 2 parts. So you got this part, which is nice and toasty. Stick your feet in there and then slide them into the boots. I've rode these through everything, walked through creeks, you know, mud, salt. They are waterproof as advertised. Just obviously you can't go over the top of them, then you're kind of screwed. But in the wet snow and everything, they keep my feet dry and toasty. On normal days where it's just, you know, 30s or so, I'll just wear regular cycling socks, cotton, or I have a thin pair of wool ones I'll wear. If it gets down to the teens and the single digits, then I have a thicker pair of smart wool socks, which these are the same size I would normally wear, and a big thick pair of wool socks still fits inside these yet. So if it's teens, single digits, I'll ramp up to those. But these were a lifesaver. No more plastic baggies on the feet or anything. These take care of it. Only caution that I learned: if you do end up getting a pair of these Old Man Winters, you might be able to find this pair for cheaper too, because I know they redesigned them for this coming year, so I'm sure they might be closing out these if you find them at a shop left over somewhere. But just the zipper on the front, it is very good, but by the end of the season last year, and I mean, I can't complain because I rode them through some stuff between the salt, the mud, how many times they were frozen and you know, in water up to the tips of these guys. But just keep the zippers clean. So what I started doing was I just had a spare toothbrush by where I took off my cycling clothes, and if I was really muddy that day, I would just go up and down and clean the teeth out before I zipped it, and then clean them again before I re-zipped it on the next ride. I did have a set of zippers go bad on me. It was partially my fault because I wasn't doing that at first, and I was just grinding it up there with all the stuff on them. But that being said, Bontrager was great. I sent them a quick email, and within a week at the local bike shop I had another pair. for myself that they gave me. So that was great of them, great customer service. So definitely highly recommend the shoes and the gloves. The Old Man Winters, can't beat them. On my hands, these are, as stated, the same. These are Bontrager Old Man Winters as well. It's just the gloves. And then these guys, nice about these, it comes in two parts. So you have the base glove, and then you got this outer shell. Just these base gloves alone, they're very nice to wear on their own. So today, again, when it was in the 50s or so, I just wore these. I would probably only keep just these on if it goes down to 40 or so. Once it gets below 40, then out comes these shells. And man, you take that glove, you slide them inside these guys. You can cinch them right up tight with this. And down to single digits. I think -2 it was the one day. And my hands were toasty as could be in these guys. No hand warmers or anything like that needed. The way the grips are split up, you have your one finger by itself and the thumb, so it's pretty perfect. Even for mountain biking, you got your one finger for braking and shifting, what have you. So it's a nice setup. I found these on a great deal on clearance. I know they're expensive if you get them full price, but shop clearances, you could probably find them. Same with the shoes. We found them half price at the end of last year. Another good tip for winter cycling, if you're not on this train yet, get yourself a boot dryer. This one here is super nice because it has the gloves and the boots up top. So I take the inserts out of the Old Man Winter shoes, take the base layer gloves, put them on there after I'm done riding, fire it up, and within an hour they're nice and dry, and you don't get that bacterially smell that classic on the winter stuff. It dries them out nice, keeps them dry, so keeps them not smelly. So that's the winter gear rundown. Hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I got a bunch of questions from different people about what I wear, so I figured I'd throw that together, put it in a review, since I really don't have much footage of actual riding this week due to weather and darkness. As we said the last few weeks, it's getting tough. But I do have a few videos from Sunday's ride. We went out to Sweet Valley, out to Drew's house. Drew is a guy that I know only through Strava. Me and him compete back and forth on a lot of segments locally here. And this was the first time actually meeting him, so it was pretty funny. But a great guy. We had Drew, myself, Leah, and Uncle Chuck join us for that ride. So here's a couple quick clips from that. So this ride started off with a trip down to the Sawyersville Kiwanis Club for a pancake breakfast to start off the great day. Then it was out to Sweet Valley, and we hit gravel before the ride even started. Stupid sweat smudges, but there's a lot of beautiful scenery out there as well, and a lot of new roads that we've never been on before. So that's it for this week's in review. Hope you enjoyed. I'll put some links down in the description below to the clothes that I was mentioning before. We'll see you next week. Looks like we got some snow on the way, so we'll see what happens. Have a good one.
This is the P-Town Weekend, the Weekend Review.